What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another SGN video where it's all sim all the time. In today's video, we are going to bring you the new and improved movement sliders for 2K24. These are just going to focus on movement. You can utilize these with any slider set. Hopefully you're using mine because, I mean, why wouldn't you? But if you are using someone else's slider set, that's okay. You can utilize these. We're going to go ahead and go over some gameplay clips, show you what these sliders do for you, and then I'm going to get you the actual movement sliders so you can implement them into whatever slider set you're using currently. So let's go ahead, check out some clips.
And Bonds hits right high. It's a deep. It is out of here. This is caught. Diggs. Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Bryant for the win. Bang. Watch out. He's got getting away from the top speed. By Michael Short.
Alright, so I want you to pay attention to the offense by the CPU and notice the spacing with the defenders in relation to the offensive players. I think that's important to note here, that there's a lot better spacing. And the other big thing is having a guy like Abadiah who's quick on his feet can still beat a guy like Pirtle. I think that's important to have that in the set. One other thing I want to talk about is recovery. Is yes, you are going to have better spacing and more realistic movement, but when we get to the play here with the user, you're going to see that as Terrence Davis brings the ball up the court, he makes a move. Hero gets screened by his own player, but he's still able to recover and get a good contest. It was just a tough finish at the rim. So defense is still going to be there. It's just not going to be as overpowered. I think that's very important to have more realistic plays like that, effort plays. And on this one, we want to show how much space you can get on jump shots with the right screen set up. You can see it was a miss, but it was a good screen. And you're going to see Hero bring the ball up the court, and he's able to bully his way to the hoop on a fast break, which you do see like in the NBA. We don't want to have the stone walling all the time by defenders, and that's what these movement sliders have brought to the game, is a lot less stonewalling in transition and other places as well. And there you can still see you get them to get the spacing on the three from Hero, and then here Terrence Davis was able to go head down in transition against Tyler Hero, and as you can see in the replay, Hero was going one way, Terrence Davis crossed over, went the other way, and got around him just enough to lay it in. That's what we want. We want realistic plays and abilities like that for guys on offense while still having good D. And here's another play with Hunter, just head down, and Martin had no idea which way to go, and that should be what happens in real life. If you got a guy going full speed at you and you're backpedaling, he should be able to get around you. This was just a nice play. You could see the movement of the sliders is what allowed this to happen. He had a wide open three, but also the wide open lane, and he passed out of it. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about these movement sliders. But first, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. It really helps me out. Also, if you're not a member yet, strongly consider joining, because members get a lot of exclusive things. Not only do they get this video with the full release 3 days early, but I've been working on these for 2 weeks, and members get access to everything that I'm testing. So a lot of the things that we've gone through testing, they've been able to go ahead and implement and give feedback on and help create these with their feedback, and have been able to utilize these for the last 2 weeks. You could have been doing that too, and we do this all the time for 2K and Madden. So you're definitely, if you're not a member, man, definitely consider it. You get your handprint, your fingerprints, I guess you could say, on a lot of the creations that I work on, and it also really helps me out, so I appreciate it. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the movement sliders. And I want to say that when I first started working on movement sliders for 2K24, which was the first thing that I did when I started building sliders to get the movement, I noticed that they got rid of the with ball and without ball from the years past. And so I didn't really pay much attention, and I never read what it says at the bottom here, where it says controls the rate at which slow players accelerate without the ball. The key to that is, as you go through with acceleration, minimum and max, speed minimum max, it says specifically that it only affects players without the ball. I missed that back in September. I missed that. I had no idea. And so that would be why even though the sliders were playing good with the 80-40 split that we had, there was still too much stonewalling, in my opinion. There were other things that had to be done to, create that feel. And what I've done is I've gone the opposite way. So the default for movement is 75-35, straight out of the box from 2K. And I actually have gone a little bit in a different direction. I've reduced the max speed and acceleration by 5 down to 70 because we need to have a little bit more openness in the game to mirror today's NBA. Because when you watch today's NBA, you get a little bit more openness. There's not a lot of heavy defense being played. And then the speed and acceleration minimums, we were at 40 before, now we dropped it down to 20. And what that means is if a guy before, let's just say a guy's minimum speed before was at 30, and we had the minimum at 40, he'd get artificially boosted up to 40 because that's his minimum. So even though he should have been a lot slower than he was designed to be, he's artificially boosted. So that was why defense was maybe felt a little bit unrealistic at times. It also affected off-ball movement significantly. So by dropping it down to 20, we're just letting guys who are slower and have those slower ratings actually beat that. That doesn't mean guys are going to all be down at 20, but it really helps with the movement, especially of those slower players, which being artificially boosted is what created kind of a logjam in the defensive side of things for both the user and the CPU. So this is what we're going with. We're going 70 for max for speed and acceleration and 20 minimum for both the user and CPU. Now the other thing that we're doing is hustle. We are dropping hustle to 0 for both the user and CPU. Now, can I definitively say that this is doing anything? I don't know. I really haven't been able to say for a matter of fact that going from 50 down to 0 has made a huge change, but I do know it hasn't hurt anything. I've felt like fast breaks are a little bit better. I felt like other things have been improved as well. So we're rocking 0 for both user and CPU on hustle. But that is it, guys. These are the sliders. Implement them whatever you're using. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace.